Hi, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to my channel. I'm just coming by with a quick video on a little challenge I just finished for Studio 28E. It's Sherry, and she has a YouTube channel and her Facebook page, which is Studio 28E Journal Creations. So what the challenge was to make 5 envelopes with 5 different things. So 5 different things on 5 different envelopes, if you know what I mean. So not 5 envelopes using 5 things, but 5 different things on each envelope, if I understood it correctly and if I did it right. So hopefully I did it right, but what I did was I wanted to do a little video so I could show the front and back and explain what I did, because it's a little hard to, show the front and back in pictures on Facebook. So I'll just start with, let's see, maybe I'll start with the one I did first and kind of try to go in the order of, in the order I created them. So what I have here, this was the first one I did, and I kind of wanted to do all recipe book page envelopes, but then I thought, well, I was trying to follow the rules, and I think that we were supposed to use 5 different envelopes. So I tried to follow the rules, and so this envelope was made from a little page from a cookbook. So you can see the little kind of rice and beans pictures in the background. Here's the back. You can see it a little bit better on there, the different grains and things like that. Let me show you the flap, and there's the front. And so what I did was use a little, I think it's a canning jar label. I put that in the middle to be able to write on and have lines. And then I did sew it closed with zigzag stitching on the sides and straight stitch across the bottom to sew on this green rickrack. And I made a little stamp over here. It's got kind of like craft colored paper underneath, and on top is a teeny tiny picture of a skillet. So just keeping with the kind of cookbook recipe theme. It's a little bitty picture of a skillet that I made. I cut with some pinking shears and made it look like a stamp. And then on the back, I just put a little burlap and black kind of chevron style designed burlap bow. And so that's it. It's pretty simple, but it just has, that's my 5 different things. So this is the envelope, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 things on that one. I say that's one. The second one I made was this one. I've been wanting to make some fabric envelopes kind of in the back of my mind. I had that on my little list in my head. But so I decided to go ahead and try it tonight. I've got some cardstock here as a base. And then what I did, let me undo this for you so I can open it up a little bit. And you can see without the string on here. I kind of decided to piece it together, kind of almost like a patchwork of fabric, or maybe like almost like a quilted, not quilted, but a quilt look. So I had the cardstock opened up, and I put these kind of coordinating fabrics on here. You can see I've got greens and things like that in the fabrics. So I put a piece here, a piece went over here, and then another piece down here. There are 3 different patterns of fabrics, but they're all coordinated. And then I kind of just stitched around all the edges. So I zigzag stitched all around the edges. I glued them on first, and not a solid glue, just enough to keep them on so that they would be nice and flat for when I was sewing. I didn't want any wrinkles or anything. And so I glued them down with some Fabri-Tac and then sewed around all the edges. And I think it came out really cool. It's the first one I've ever done. And that's the front. And then this is the back. I've got it. You can see my green bow here. This is just a piece of ribbon that I cut the edges off, and then I put a piece of thread around the middle to make a bow. Just tied a little knot on there to gather it in the middle. And then on the back I have a button, a green button to kind of match. And then this is some green embroidery floss that I wrapped around. I'm wrapping around and using as like just a pretty closure. So, and then on the end of my little string here, I have a little tiny key charm. So that's my 5 things on this one. On this envelope, the key charm is 1, button is 2, the floss is 3, and then the ribbon is 4, and I guess the fabric was 5, or I didn't know if the stitching could be considered as 5 either. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I guess I was considering the stitching number 5, the green stitching. I did I was wondering if that could be counted as an element because I did the stitching on here, but that would have been 6 on this one. So that's number 2. And the fabric, I guess, could be considered an element too. So anyway, I've got at least 5 on each one. The next one I did was, I think I did this one next. This is just a coffee dyed. I did a printout of a French letter and coffee dyed it, ripped it on the side and made it into an envelope. It's sewn together. And then I kind of started going with this red, and I was going to do this on video, but I didn't know what I was going to do when I started. I kind of just started with the recipe. I knew I wanted to do a cookbook page envelope, but I didn't know what else I was going to do, so I couldn't prepare to do it on video. So I'm showing you now, and if you want to know how I did anything, I'll be glad to come back and do a tutorial on anything or explain it further in the comments. But so I sewed this one together with brown thread, and then I just put my 5 elements are, I've got burlap under here, some lace, and I wove this red ribbon through the lace. I've got a little like a word tag here that says inspire. I've got the word email here and fragile on the back just to keep with a postal theme. And so I thought the red really looked good on this kind of vintagey looking and brownish background. It really stood out, and I thought it looked really pretty. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there in the front. And then this is kind of the same, so I didn't really count that as an extra. I just counted this fragile and the airmail as a 1 because it's kind of just paper, you know, just a paper printout of those little words. So that's the next one, number 3. The next one I did was this. I've been kind of wanting to do this too, make an envelope out of a seed packet. And what I did was I actually copied this seed packet. And then I wanted to see if I could copy them, because I don't see a copyright on the ones I have. So I copied it, and then I sewed it. I cut it out, and then I sewed it together with some zigzag stitching. It's gray on the front, and I think I have green on the back. I think I had green and gray on my sewing machine. So then I put a little label right here. This is a vintage label. I've got a little tab right here, which is a green ticket. I wanted that to stand out. And the green kind of went with the floral kind of nature color scheme here. And then I've got a little Tim Holtz lady with some butterfly wings right there. So cute. And then on the back, I put a little pocket with another Tim Holtz piece and a journaling card in here. I've got a little B for bird. B is for bird journaling card, and that just slips in there. And of course, you can put things in all the envelopes. I don't have anything in them yet, but just really cute. So, and the 5 things are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually have about 6, depending on whether you count the Tim Holtz as 1 or 2. So I put extra in case the Tim Holtz stuff was all counted as 1. So I've got my 5 there. And then this is the last one, the 5th envelope. And I made this one, I decided to make one out of my painty papers to see how it came out. And what I did on this one was just glue it together. I cut out the shape I wanted, glued it together, and it's this is actually a scanned and printed out copy of it. So this is not the original painting papers, this is a copy. So it came out really cool. It looks like the original. If you didn't know, you would think it was the original. And then I put on here a layered flower with a little kind of blingy bead there in the middle. It's a little, one of those little sticker beads. And then I've got some wooden pieces on here that I had received in Happy Mail from Mary Flower. This one says love. These two say love, and this is little wooden flowers. They're actually buttons. The flowers are buttons, but I just glued those on there. On the back I have, these were also from Mary Flower, little copper like blingy beads that glue on. Or they were stickers also. And then I put this little piece of ribbon on here so I could have my 5 different items on this envelope. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I counted the little bead as number 5. So, you know, they're kind of simple, but I think they turned out really cool and pretty and different from really anything I've ever done. I've made some recipe envelopes, but I think I made them from magazine pages, like from the recipes from magazine pages before. I don't think I had made any from cookbook pages, so that was something. All these were different. I had made some from my French envelopes before, I think only one, so this was and I had never put red on them. I really like that. I want to keep doing that because I think that I really like how that stands out, you know, on the vintage look background. So that's it for tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, just let me know. Thank you, Sheree. That was an awesome little challenge. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't know what I was going to do, except for I had the recipe page in mind, and that's all I really had in mind. Just lots of things were roaming around in my head, and so I had to get it done by tomorrow, so sat down and got them all done tonight, and it was totally fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, and I'll see y'all next time.